What if I told you that a popular YouTube channel once shouted out a viewer, and years later, that same viewer walked into his workplace and shot 3 of his colleagues dead? This isn't a conspiracy. This isn't speculation. This is a documented, verified chain of events, and it begins the way most tragedies do, with a lonely kid who just wanted to matter. Meet Randy. He's 16 years old, living somewhere in rural Pennsylvania, and by most accounts he is painfully invisible. He struggles to make eye contact. He has almost no friends. In a hallway full of people, he's the one nobody looks at. So Randy does what a lot of kids in pain do. He escapes. He comes home from school, closes his door, and loses himself in cartoons and YouTube videos. Hours become days. Days become years. And somewhere in all that watching, Randy becomes obsessed. Not just a fan, not just a viewer. He wants to be on the other side of the screen. He wants to be the one people watch. He wants to matter. So in 2008, he starts his own channel. Vlogs, sketch comedy, goofy stuff, nothing groundbreaking. But it's his, and slowly it starts to work. A few dozen subscribers become a few hundred, and then something happens that changes everything for Randy. A popular YouTube show called Equals 3, you might know it, plays one of his clips. The host gives him a shout out. He's not just a viewer anymore. For one brief moment, the internet knows his name. For Randy, that feels like everything. It's 2010 now. Randy is 18, technically an adult, and his parents have run out of patience. The channel isn't making money. The views have plateaued, and his dad sits him down and delivers a message Randy absolutely does not want to hear. Get a job. Move out. Grow up. Randy is furious. In his mind, the world doesn't understand him. The world never understood him. But he needs money, so he does it. He gets a job at a local supermarket, stocking shelves, mopping aisles, graveyard shifts, and he hates it. Not just, ugh, I don't like this job. Hate, something deeper, something corrosive. He starts writing in a private journal, and what he writes is disturbing. He writes about his coworkers with contempt. He writes that he is superior to everyone around him, but nobody can see it. He writes about resentment toward his father. He writes about his hatred for gay people and black people. He fills pages with a kind of anger that doesn't burn out. It just goes underground, and he keeps working, and he keeps writing, and he keeps watching YouTube. It's 2013 now. Randy is 21. He's been at the supermarket for 3 years, still living at home, still uploading to YouTube, and still going nowhere. And then he discovers Danny Phantom. If you don't know it, it's a Nickelodeon cartoon, a boy who's half human, half ghost. Standard kid stuff. But Randy doesn't watch it like a kid. He watches it like someone searching for something. And he finds it. Her name is Emma McLean, a ghost girl, a villain, technically, with flaming hair, a guitar, and a voice that puts people under her spell. Randy becomes obsessed. Not in a casual, fan art kind of way, in the kind of way that rewires a person. He reshapes his entire YouTube channel around her. He starts writing a full animated fan series called Ember's Ghost Squad, a story about ghost girls who kill humans. He reaches out to independent animators to bring it to life. And one by one, they read his script and they all say the same thing. No, because the script isn't just dark. It glorifies mass murder. It treats real-life shooters as heroes. Every animator backs away. And so Randy retreats further, deeper, into a world only he can see. By this point, he isn't just a fan of Emma McLean anymore. He believes she is real. He believes she has feelings for him. He believes there is another world, the ghost world, and that he truly belongs there, not here, not in this supermarket, not in this life. And here's where we have to stop for a second, because what Randy is experiencing isn't just sadness or delusion in the casual sense. This is a man in genuine psychiatric crisis, completely untreated, with access to nobody who can see what's happening to him. And that is terrifying. If you're new here, this channel covers stories that the algorithm doesn't. Subscribe now, the worst is still coming. By 2017, Randy has been at the supermarket for 7 years. He's 25. He still lives at home. His YouTube channel, still going, has shifted into something unrecognizable from where it started. And the warning signs are everywhere, hiding in plain sight, on the internet, in the house, in his room. He's begun idolizing the Columbine shooters, calling them heroes in his journal. He starts wearing a t-shirt that one of the shooters wore on the day of the attack. He uploads photos of himself wearing it, not once, multiple times, publicly. Then, in 2017, he asks his mother to drive him to a gun shop, and she does. And he buys 2 shotguns. He films himself handling them. He uploads a video. He calls them by names, characters from his Go series. He writes in his journal, the night his mother takes him to buy the guns, "You were a fool to trust me. If only you knew what you just signed." He rips out the page. He leaves it on a surface in the house. Nobody finds it. He uploads target practice videos. People watch them. Nobody reports anything to authorities. Then he flips a coin. On camera, he literally records himself flipping a coin and narrating the decision. Heads, I die alone at home. Tails, I go to the supermarket. Tails, he uploads a video. It stays up. Let's be honest about something here, because this is important. This wasn't hidden. This wasn't encrypted in a dark web forum. This was YouTube, one of the most watched platforms on Earth. And what Randy was broadcasting: coin flips deciding murder, gun loading montages, Columbine glorification, framed as a ghost anime, apparently didn't trip a single wire. The platform argument is one we're still having today. Who is responsible when someone telegraphs violence in public and nothing happens? The user? The moderators? The algorithm that pushes content to other vulnerable people? We don't have clean answers, but we have to ask the question. Because while those debates happen in boardrooms, Randy is at home, on the night before what he's planned is his last day alive, doing something strange and specific. He puts on makeup, black eye makeup styled to look like Ember McLean, the ghost girl. He changes into women's clothing underneath his regular clothes. He is, in his mind, preparing to cross over, to become who he really is, to leave this world and enter hers. He uploads one final video of his animated series, and embedded in it, visible to anyone who looked closely, is footage of him loading both shotguns into a duffel bag he will carry to work the following night. If this is your first time on Last Witness, stay. We're just getting to the part they don't show you. It's late. The supermarket is on its graveyard shift, the same shift Randy has worked for 7 years. He knows every exit, every camera angle, every routine. He arrives like he does any other night. He clocks in. He greets no one. He sets down the bag. And then, without anyone noticing, he begins barricading the exits. He pulls out the first shotgun, the one he named after a character from a series, and he starts moving through the store. 3 of his coworkers are killed. People who showed up for the night shift. People who had no idea. People whose names we should say and don't get to, because Randy took their stories before they could be told. And then Randy turns a gun on himself. He dies in the building where he spent 7 years feeling invisible, in women's clothing, with ghost girl makeup on his face, believing to the last moment that he was crossing over. When investigators go through his belongings, they find the journals, the videos, the coin flip, the note his mother never found. The entire documented psychological unraveling of a man who announced what he was going to do, clearly, publicly, repeatedly, and was never stopped. So what do we do with a story like this? Because it would be easy to make Randy the monster. He did monstrous things. He killed people who did nothing to him. He terrorized his community. That part is not in question. But monsters don't usually leave paper trails this long. They don't usually make coin flip videos on YouTube and wait to see if anyone shows up. What we're left with is something more uncomfortable than a monster. A system, his family, his community, his platform, his mental health infrastructure, his country's gun laws, that failed at every conceivable checkpoint. His mother drove him to buy guns and didn't think to ask why a reclusive 25-year-old who had never shown interest in shooting sports suddenly needed 2 shotguns. His co-workers saw a man deteriorating for years, and no one had the tools or the training to intervene. An algorithm served as content to thousands of people, and none of the violent signals triggered a review. He left a note in the house, and it sat there unread. 3 people went to work on a Tuesday night and didn't come home. Their families are still living with that. That's the only part of this story that should stay with us. Last Witness exists because these stories matter. Because someone has to say the names of the victims without making the killer the only character in the room. If you made it to the end, thank you. Subscribe if you haven't. Leave a comment with the one detail from this story that stuck with you, because I want to know what you're thinking.